escapes you with a sound. It's delineated. I waited at the station for an hour, but I won't make it. You take off on an uptight by the tower, and you overtake it. Every moment I see you on the rise, you're drawn across the sky. Now that ink has dried, and I can't tell you why. Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. Oh, I can't tell you why. Why you have to stay here on the ground? It's overrated. The cityscape parades you with a sound. It's delineated. No one here has even learned your name, but they all claim that they saw you land and land to do the same, but they won't make it. Every moment I see you on the rise, you're drawn across the sky. Now that ink has dried, and I can't tell you why. Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Oh, Mimi, can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. Tell me there's an issue. I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Or maybe can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? And I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why.
I think I'm having a moment, another momentary lapse of serotonin. But I see it from your side. I can't count it on my fingers, all the times you let me down. Say your piece and let it linger. Let the words dry out your mouth. I can feel the emotion when I walk into the room and you got me in focus, but the camera just don't zoom close enough to see the dirty details. You never gave a damn about the way that I feel. You live a double life, won't kiss and tell. Yeah, it's never been your style. got that dope.
What you doing tonight? Is it too much to ask to wonder? Baby, tell me what you been drinking and why the hell you cup empty? I don't mean to be too much, told her come on too friendly, but I can feel you been staring. You say I've been doing different. Tell me what you been missing. I'ma give it to you, just listen. I can show you the world if you want me to. But you can't tell the world, baby, it's just you. Is it too much to ask, to wonder what you doing tonight? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Baby, am I your type? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? So what's the problem? I know that you see I'm on ya. How do I say I want ya without being too blind, girl? Temperature rising, I can feel it getting warmer. You're hotter than the sun, girl. Ain't burning on my tongue, girl. Nobody else I've seen competes with you. Had to take a seat to check the view. So help you make both our dreams come true. Is it too much to ask, to wonder what you doing tonight? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Baby, am I your type? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Feel my vibe, I'm coming in hard, and I like your vibe. Let's slide to my spot so I can show you things that you've never seen. Yeah, feel my vibe, I'm coming in hard, and I like your vibe. Let's slide to my spot so I can show you things that others only dream. Yeah, baby, tell me, is it too much to ask, to wonder what you doing tonight? Is it too much to ask, to wonder? Baby, am I your type? Too much to ask, to wonder. Ooh, is it too much to ask, to wonder?
We just keep wanting to double down. My luck apparently just drown out, 'cause we won't stay the same. And I think love is just a losing game. I hate your smile, it makes me sad. I love the way that you don't look back. We thought of every way we'd be together, but we're scared of beautiful mistakes. Won't say that I'm sorry, 'cause I want you on me on a Saturday. And I don't wanna play no more, no more, just buy a plane so you could fly me to LA. And I don't wanna play no more, no more, no more, no more. Let's go our separate ways. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. And if I have to watch you fly away, hope you make a figure eight. I'll be sitting on my couch and strumming chords and getting paid, yeah. Oh, oh, I'm coming back to you. And if I have to watch you fly away, hope you make a figure eight. I'll be sitting on my couch and strumming chords and getting paid, yeah. No more, no more, no more, no more. I'm coming back to you. La 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 la, oh Lord, oh Lord. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is another live stream, guys. I'm sorry I didn't stream this morning, but I'm here tonight because, well, this is a topic that piqued my interest. It is about two commentary YouTubers that are not technically in our realm of commentary. Okay, this is what we call normie commentary, what we call soy commentary. But first, I have to comment on something real quick, okay? We got a tweet from Cope and Seethe, and it's about Lio Convoy. And it's a message from his Discord server, and it says, "Add everyone. All right, dorks. New rule that has been added, and I can't believe I have to say this, but please do not give birth in VC. It makes people very uncomfortable. I have enough weirdos and freaks in my life. I don't need more that will show up because of crap like this. You have to share the server with other people, and no one needs to deal with crap like this." I'm picturing what this VC would have looked like, and quite frankly, I'm horrified. I'm horrified by the thought of these people reproducing, okay? These art commentary, furry rejects, okay? The thought of them procreating is a terrifying one. Chat, we should all be very afraid. Be very, very afraid that people like this are having kids, okay? We all need to pray that that they have clinics near them that will take care of the issue. Okay, in this instance, I'm very pro-choice. But back to what's supposed to be the main topic, guys. We have a topic, and on this guy right here, dankyjabo. He is a what I would call a normie commentary guy. If you look at his thumbnail style, it's very similar to like a lot of people like Jake Doolittle. Same with Lewis McClung. I'm just gonna call him Lewis. If you look at his thumbnail style, again, very similar to the normie commentary thumbnails. All right, now, okay, Lewis has decided to make a video on Danky here. Why? Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. What the fuck? Shitty intro for me. What the fuck are these shitty skits? Does anyone find this funny? What the fuck is this? What the fuck am I looking at?
Welcome back, members of the...
And guys, you know, okay, there are going to be a lot of accusations levied at Danky. All I'm going to say is, Lewis, okay, look at your skin tone. Look at his, look at your skin tone. Look at his. I'm just saying, maybe your hatred of the guy, maybe racism is a factor. You are trying to cancel a black man from the looks of it. Or basically you're trying to cancel non-white is what I'm trying to say. Lewis, buddy, you're supposed to be woke. You're supposed to be mindful of these types of things. Lewis, buddy, I'm sorry. This doesn't look very progressive.
Audience, to just a delightful show. One of my favorites, you reap what you sow. And today, there's a case that
I already don't like this guy. I'll be honest, chat. I have a bias already. Look, okay, whatever this guy did, I am willing to forgive. I am willing to forgive, chat. Actually, you know what? Before I say that, let me hear how this guy sounds. Let me hear how he sounds.
The Ashley Trevino and Santos drama has truly gone off the rails, with the two now throwing serious...
Okay, he's less annoying than this guy.
that needs to be cracked by yours truly, Detective McClung, on the case. There are...
McClung. I'm sorry, if I was given the last name McClung, I'd change it instantly. I change it within a heartbeat. McClung.
There are 3 types of people who have clicked on this video today. 1, the hell's going on? I either kind of don't or do know who this guy is, and I'm wondering what's going on.
Yapping. This guy's talking like he's in a live stream, okay? He's talking like I am. I'm trying to fill the void. Chat, I'm trying to fill the void when I talk. Him, it's like, you can edit this out. You can edit this out, man.
2,
is this not scripted? My guess is this isn't scripted at all.
those who are in defense of the man we are talking about. And 3, the man himself, because I know he clicked on this video. I know he did. And to all of you,
Or the fourth reason, to not necessarily defend him, but also to laugh at you. Because look at this motherfucker. Look at him. He looks like a gay vampire hunter. How can I not make fun of that, chat? He looks like a goddamn gay vampire hunter. He looks like a swashbuckler. In the year of our Lord 2025. I have to make fun of that.
I have something very clear to say to you. This is a situation in the dark, a feud between multiple...
Are you saying it's in the dark because of his skin tone, you racist? Okay, you ginger racist? I can't believe YouTube allows someone like this on the platform, chat. YouTube needs to take action. YouTube needs to take that action against these racist people.
People that Jesse, aka dankyjabo or dankyjabo, has gotten dragged into because of his own idiotic decisions. I have spoken with Jesse, that is his first name, and
Ooh, his first name is Jesse. I don't give a fuck. His name's Danky for purposes.
through our brief interactions, being 2 people in the commentary YouTube sphere, he was actually quite sweet. But put yourself in my shoes for a second.
He was
Let's
quite
say
sweet,
you have
actually, but I was deceived. This is like the theater kid that never grew up.
brief interaction with another creator, and they're nice to you. And then you will learn that
Just
they are
yapping.
not the person that they portray themselves as online. See, I am not.
Oh, you mean like 80-90% of people online? Whoa, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, man. Whoa. Next, you're gonna tell me that Nigerian prince that needed my money did, in fact, not need my money. What? Oh my god, man. I'm learning so much from this guy right here. I'm learning so much, chat. This guy, I can tell you, he's the next big thing in commentary. He's gonna be up there with the greats.
A Jesse fan. I don't watch his content. I'm not a big fan of it. I actually, personally, and we'll get to this later, do not like the way he talks about women, specifically. But there is a time for everything, and now is the time for
Ah, yes, here comes the chivalrous knight to protect thy women. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm expecting to see some sexist stuff here, okay? I'm expecting him to say that we need to bring women back to circa before they got their amendments to vote. God.
exposition. The accusations against dankyjabo,
You think
aka
that outfit's comfortable? Do you think that's comfortable at all? It can't.
Jesse, go as follows. Lying to your audience, using hateful, derogatory speech towards women, silencing those who are against you, and lying
Does he have like
to
a fan on in this room? Is that why his hair's like blowing back like he's like they're trying to film a shampoo commercial?
manipulating your audience, those who hold you as sanctity. Honestly, your audience is literally all you have as a YouTuber. That's it. That's
You can have integrity. You got money, cocaine, hoes. You can have a lot as a YouTuber. Video games, a Warhammer collection, Funko Pops. You know, you can have a lot. Lamborghinis, depending on how successful you are as a YouTuber, you know.
all you have. And to lie to them, to manipulate them, to avoid the truth, maybe not so much lie, but to silence the truth, it might as well.
Ooh, sounds spicy. I wonder what Danky has done. Cover up? Lie? What could we what are we dealing with, chat? What evil did Danky do?
Be lying. Let's get something straight. Being wrong is no crime. There is nothing you can ever do to somebody who is just wrong. If they mess up, if they were lied to, you don't know, okay? You cannot cancel somebody, and frankly, I'm not here to cancel somebody. I'm here to get the truth. This video
I'm not here to cancel him, but also, too, I'm hoping to ruin his YouTube career.
is a rock thrown into a lake that will send ripples out so that maybe we can actually find the truth. Because, man, Jesse is running from it with everything he's got. I think it's good we start with the man named I'm Alex. I released a video about it about 6 months ago, and that's a good time frame to think about. In the past 6 months, Jesse has grown his audience in a very steady pace since then, since that incident. And this incident is the catalyst that starts everything. And I mean everything. I'm Alex, if you don't know, and if you don't want to watch that video, I don't blame you. It was a while ago. I'm Alex was Alex. He was not in self-defense. In England, I'm in America, if you don't know. I'm Alex was basically the head of the England community of commentary YouTubers. And in that sphere was dankyjabo, or Jesse. Again, I don't know how to say it. dankyjabo, dankyjabo.
Ha ha,
I'm
funny.
Kidding. dankyjabo just so happened to be an editor for I'm Alex, or at least one of his editors at some point in time. You can even tell the blatant mentoring through the exact same thumbnail design. They use the exact same.
Well, also, too, like, this is not, like, I Am Alex did not come up with this thumbnail style. Like, this is a very common thumbnail tactic. Technically, I use this thumbnail tactic, because if we look at my videos, going right here. I mean, I use bigger text, but like if we look at like this is technically what I do with my thumbnails now. Like it's a very common thumbnail tactic again. So it's like I Am Alex did not create that thumbnail style. So I they use the same thumbnail style. I don't think that's like necessarily like your a good point here. I think this again. I think a lot of this seems to be just to fill the void. I mean, especially with his like, what's with these fucking soy fin mustache fucks always doing like bad stand up comedy? Okay, we got Jake Weddle, we got this guy Jake Doolittle. Ethan is online. Oh, I'm sorry, Eden. That's her new name now. Eden is online. Nick is not green. Okay, these are all like very soy. They were the funny ones in their friend group of unfunny people.
In thumbnail design. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just more proof that he mentored him or taught him his ways. This apparently made him feel as though he owed Alex some gratitude. If you ask me, that sounds like you're willingly let somebody manipulate you, but that might just be me. Oh, you gave me my career, but you're going to exploit me for something because of it? Yes, because you owe me.
Yeah, that's pretty much Alex's MO when it comes to anyone who interacts with him. This is not new territory for anyone who's familiar with Alex.
Me, every woman in Hollywood ever. But
Bro, what the fuck? You can't be saying that about women.
Yes, because you owe me. Every woman in Hollywood ever.
You can't be making jokes like that about women. What the fuck? You sexist piece of shit. How dare you?
But apparently, and still now, Jesse followed and still follows I'm Alex.
The horror. I'm pretty sure I follow Alex on Twitter. Let me hang on. Does he even still have his Twitter? Let me check. I am Alex. He doesn't. I'm like 90% sure he had a Twitter. Oh well. I was following his Twitter at some point. I was following it is the important thing here. Okay? And that's not because I'm in 100% support of everything he does. That's because I am interested in seeing updates, especially when it comes to his response, because we still have not gotten that yet. Okay? He's living off the money that he gotten from his MGM finally paying him. Okay? I'm waiting. I'm praying that we finally get some sort of response from him. Okay? We got Cody Co to respond, of all people. I expect I Am Alex to respond, especially if he wants to make moolah again. Because my guess is that money's going to dry out quick because he's used to a certain lifestyle. But I digress, chat. I digress. Let's continue on, shall we? Because this is just a dumb point. Also, too, like, of course, like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but for example, I'm not too active on Instagram, right? I'm not too active on Instagram. I'm sure I'm following people that like I don't want to follow anymore, but also too, I can't be bothered with unfollowing them. So like I don't know, them following each other, it, like, for one, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Okay. Okay. Let me be clear. Everyone in I Am Alex's friend group, anyone who is associated with him, who backed him for years, while knowing all the shit he did behind the scenes, they're all fucking spineless rats. Okay? All of them are going to get what's coming to them. And, you know, depending on Danky's involvement, it sounds like someone's attempting to get what's coming to him. This video is, it's not hitting so far. It's not hitting so far. But anyway, let's continue because, my God.
On Instagram. This is important because one of Alice's friends decided to reach out to him and ask why, if it was an accident, if he meant to unfollow him, or if he just didn't know what was going on, which was unlikely and is still unlikely and is very impossible now. Instead of many options.
So this whole video is just stemming from a follow. Keep that in mind.
Handling this in stride, ignoring it, confirming that it was just a mistake. No, he responded like so. Is there any reason you still follow and work for an abusive piece of shit?
And plus, too, why not just be direct? Like, why are you following an abusive piece of shit? Just say Alex. Like, obviously, we know what you mean. But, like, in the moment, come on, just fucking, just fucking say Alex. Just have the balls and say it outright.
They're talking about Alex, and there's nobody else they could be talking about. I'm so sorry, mate. I'm not doing an accent. I'm not, you can't, no. I'm sorry, mate. I'll unfollow the annoying.
Haha, he said, get it, guys? That's comedy. He said he wasn't going to do the accent, and then he did. Oh my God, this guy is a comedic genius. Him and Webble, I think they need to get together and they need to write a TV show. Hear me out, guys. These guys, they write a TV show about living in LA. I'm sure it's gonna be great. It's gonna do bangers because they're masters at comedy.
Orange right now. So you defend abusers. I'm Alex and work for them. And that means they said it there. That means you can't ignore it. That means, yeah, maybe they could have meant something else. Maybe they could have meant the annoying orange. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe the annoying orange was an abusive prick. I wasn't part of the show. I don't know, but the response will baffle you. I would never defend or support the annoying orange. He gaslights all the fruit in the kitchen. How dare you accuse me of such a thing? Let's just, in good faith.
All right, so guess what? Guess what, okay? The guy's a prick. The guy's a prick. There. Bam! Video over. He's still friends with I Am Alex after everything's come out. Yeah, guess what? I would say so. He's a massive fucking prick for still being from the looks of it being friendly with Alex. Now, let me see if Dank has at all addressed the I Am Alex drama at all. So, I mean, it doesn't really look like it. No, doesn't really. So, yeah. Don't get me wrong, okay? I don't like people who associate with I Am Alex. And especially if he's still being friends with him. Then yeah, I mean, that's a good enough reason for me anyway not to associate with the guy, you know? But I mean, also too, just from the text messages alone, I don't know if that's video worthy. It's guys, guess what? Piece of shit who was best friends with another piece of shit is a piece of shit. You know, it's water. Water is wet. It's we kind of all know that already.
Which there is none here needed to show you what's going on, but let's just say in good faith he was, instead of saying the annoying orange saying I'm Alex. Then this wouldn't be so bad. But he didn't do that. What he did is he made a joke out of a woman's
and you see Lewis here, you can't imagine that. Imagine making a joke. Lewis can never imagine that, okay? Lewis lives a very joke-free lifestyle, as you can tell from his comedy, okay? Lewis doesn't like jokes at all. So if you make jokes, especially about women and abuse, okay, ignore the fact that I've made fun of every single category and group of people, okay? But this guy, you know, he draws the line at women.
Abuse, and also the person who he knew and worked with, and he ignored that and instead made a joke out of this. This pissed off
Oh no, not a joke.
a lot of people. I was literally live streaming the other day when people started talking about this.
I was literally live streaming when this happened.
Check out my Twitch.
Hey, nice plug.
Go check. Out of the small amount of people who watch my stream on average, talked about this. And that means that this is starting to spread. And Jesse is just ignoring it harder. So that's why I'm making the video.
I wouldn't talk about it if I was him. You were a dick in DMs. My guess is he's generally an asshole who pretends that he's a nice guy. Literally every single guy does that. Every single guy pretends they're not an asshole. You are pretending you're not an asshole right now by pretending that you're a fucking champion of women.
Because I'm done with allowing him to ignore something that he probably did. And that he's probably still doing. This isn't a problem on the surface, okay? He's being a dickhead, a doofus, even kind of a, you know, intolerable, cringe bastard. But that's fine, that's your right. The problem—
He wanted to call him the N-word there. He wanted to call him the N-word so bad. It was on the tip of his tongue. He was like that. But he saved it. He saved himself, okay? Because he didn't want to edit out him saying the N-word there. Would have been too awkward.
problem is that he makes almost only content, almost entirely, almost exclusively on content about either women being abused or abusive women. Like that's, if you scroll down in the past 6 months, that's it. And the problem isn't that he's making this content. The problem is he's making this content, and then this is how he actually treats a case that he is involved with involving the abuse of a woman.
Guess what? I Am Alex was the same way. So like, is the outrage here that you're surprised that he actually doesn't care? Is that it? Is that the outrage? Because you're pretending that like you actually do care? Buddy, I hope an ex-girlfriend of yours or boyfriend, whatever you date, I don't judge. I hope they never come out with a story about you, man. Cause holy crap. Dude. Okay, like, do I kind of get it? Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I don't like Hi, I'm Alex. I don't know anyone who does, but I don't know if this was worth a video necessarily. Just like, hey, this guy's like kind of a dick behind the scenes. Just leave it at that, you know?
Do you not see the problem there? I mean, I'm sure you see the problem. That's why you're ignoring it and suppressing anybody who talks about it, like other YouTubers who are in that sphere and who are hearing about it through.
Who is he suppressing? Can you name names? Who's he like preventing from talking about this?
People like Cataclysm, who is the only person.
Cataclysm fucking sucks, man. She was fucking crying about now recording of all groups. Because they're the Keemstar Dick Riders. They're Keemstar Dick Riders. She didn't even name now recording. I think she just called it like the Keemstar Defense Force or some shit like that. Which, by the way, was funny because like Keemstar has everyone on that podcast blocked. But Cataclysm is not a fucking good pick on like, but this amazing person talked about this.
Who I've seen make a video about this, okay? Or a stream, which was actually kind of smart. But in this stream, Cataclysm talks, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce it correctly. I mean, but Cataclysm was approached by Jessie not too long ago. I think it was also about 5 to 6 months ago when she was approached by Jessie, and Jessie wanted to talk with her, okay? They made similar content, they had similar subcounts, this is her words, and so he asked to call her, which, if you ask me, calling people has a stigma around it for a reason. You can just text people, man.
Well, I like for example, if I want to collab with someone, which is from the sounds of it, it sounds like this guy wanted to collab or something, right? It like usually like if it's just like, hey, I want to commission you, yeah, just text me, okay? I don't need a fucking call with you about a commission, right? But like if you're trying to collaborate with someone, generally it's good to like be in like some kind of call with them, so that way you can get like a rapport with each other, being like, hey, you know what? Like this is like we're gelving well. Let's go ahead and go forward with the collaboration. But like I just like you see he's poisoning the well here already by saying that like he wanted to call, but no one likes calling. It's just like it's a weird point.
If there's no reason to call, like if it's not urgent or anything, there shouldn't be any reason. But according to Cataclysm, there was some kind of air of superiority complex while they were talking. For lack of a better term, he mansplained how to be a better YouTuber to Cataclysm for like 2.5 hours.
Oh no. He gave her advice on how to be a YouTuber? The horror. Dude, like, how much up your own ass you have to fucking be? You be like, I don't need YouTube advice from you, especially from a man. Come on, just like, okay, like 2 hours maybe sounds like a bit excessive if I'm being completely honest. But like, it's YouTube advice. Also, too, I don't know how the fucking call went unless one of you two recorded it.
And then, at the end of those 2 hours, apparently Cataclysm jumped on the opportunity to ask him why he said the annoying orange bullshit, into which he hung up, ran away, and unfollowed her. And later, from a couple weeks to a couple months
Okay, it sounds like he didn't want to deal with her bullshit.
after that, they had a text conversation that I would just love to, I'd love to talk about. Bro, I'm trying to be fair here. Do I have to do the act? Guys, do I really? But I don't wanna. Can we call?
Fucking stop trying to be funny. You're not funny. Stop making content. Stop trying to be funny. Just fucking flip burgers.
Real quick. I know why you want to call. You don't want it to be in text message so that she can't screenshot it, so that she can't prove to the world that you might not do as you
Also, too, like the whole you're trying to make sure that no one gets you. She could also very easily record the call with like a screen recorder or OBS or anything that allows you to record stuff off your PC. So like it's like especially if there's like some sort of like misunderstanding, it's just a lot easier just to call them instead of like trying to explain things through text, because like some things could be misconstrued or something. Anyway, it's just such a dumb point.
reach. You sly bastard. You thought you could just hide around being kind of a quirky, weird dude. You know, somebody you might just call because they don't like the text.
Is that just you? You're trying to be like a quirky. I'm just a quirky guy. I'm so quirky. I'm so awesome. So whimsical. Look at my outfit. Look at my outfit, guys. Aren't I so quirky? So queer.
Text. No. You don't want the chance of there being receipts out there. That's even more weird. That's even...
Again, if you call someone, they can easily record it. Therefore, there are receipts. If I'm Alex's ex, who, from what I understand, was just a TikToker, is able to find out how to record someone without their knowledge, I'm sure Cataclysm, who is supposed to be an experienced YouTuber, can also figure out how to record someone without their knowledge. If Danky just wanted to like make sure no one like found out anything, you just very easily just not talk to them. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Worse. Oh my god. That's even worse, dude. You can't just... I'm glad I pieced that together, because I don't think anybody's made that point yet. Yeah, Detective Lewis McClung, baby. Right now I can't, but I'll text you. Okay, oh good. Yeah, my bad for not responding. I just genuinely got caught up. But to be honest, recently I found it kind of just want to do YouTube for myself and stay away from a lot of the drama side of things. You're a drama YouTuber. What the fuck are you talking about? To be honest, I only unfollowed because I noticed you unfollowed me. I thought that was fair enough from you. According to Cataclysm, she hadn't unfollowed him. I don't...
Well, at that point, it's a he said, she said, though. So, like, unfortunately, there's not, like, a whole lot that I can comment on there. Because it's like, you unfollowed me. No, you unfollowed me first. It's dumb. It's childish. Let's move on from it. It sounds like she got fucking ass mad that he unfollowed her. Like, it's dumb.
I don't know if she has now, but apparently back then she hadn't. Hold on. If you're a drama YouTuber, or commentary YouTuber, which is basically just a better drama YouTuber, no shade, but a better drama...
There's no difference between... There's commentary, and then there's tea. It's like this whole, like, oh, I'm not a drama channel. I'm a commentary channel. Like, the fucking distinction that people are trying to force, especially I've seen this a lot in like the r/YouTube drama subreddit, where they're like, I don't like drama, I like commentary. It's like it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are just being fucking dumb for the sake of it.
I'm a YouTuber. That means that you want to not be part of the drama, you just want to talk about it and make money. Got it. Yeah, my issue is I
mean, that sounds like a solid plan for me. I don't know about you guys. That's my game plan. Talk about everyone else's drama, get paid from it, go to a remote island somewhere, vacation for the rest of my life. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, actually.
don't really see it as drama, because my initial problem with you wasn't drama based. It was about defending my friend who was abused by your friend.
But that is drama. That is... that quite literally is drama because it involves a YouTuber. And you know, that's great. That's fantastic that you're friends with I Am Alex's ex. It's awesome of you to do that. But like, this whole like my initial problem with you wasn't drama based. It is drama based because guess what? The internet knows your friend's whole fucking abuse history now. It is drama based. I'm sorry to tell you, girl.
Friend, so
Girl, hang on. I can be sassy too, like Lewis. Girl.
he's basically a middleman in this situation and could have easily avoided all this by not saying anything. Honestly. And I don't think that would have been a good thing because we now know the.
I mean, honestly, that's the one point I can agree with him on. Is like, Danky would have been so much better if he just fucked off and not responded to anyone asking him about Alex.
Kind of person he kind of might be. Again, I'm not trying to cancel this guy. I'm not trying to expose him.
Yes, you are. You're trying to ruin his YouTube career. Don't pretend like you aren't. You're trying to cancel another person of color, you ginger racist.
As the worst guy ever. Obviously, I'm Alex's worse. I'm just saying that you could have easily avoided all this just by not doing that annoying orange bullshit. Not having this stand.
How dare he make a joke?
Her opinion, because it's so easy to denounce an abuser. That's fair. I did something that annoyed you, and I thought it was weird someone who I don't know was trying to almost police what I do with my social media. So we both did something that rubbed the other the wrong way.
I mean, that's a fair point. What the fuck are you trying to do? Why are you trying? Why? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Why are you two white people? Why are you two white people trying to tell a person of color what they can and cannot do with their social media? You goddamn racist crackers. Both of these guys, too, are ginger. Or Cataclysm's like a brunette. I don't care. Listen, okay? We can't let racists like this get away with all this, okay? We need to call these guys out. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
I don't think she was policing. When I hear policing, what I think about it, get on the ground.
Come on, you're just being fucking pedantic for no fucking reason. And when someone says policing in context like this, it's very, very obviously they mean controlling to some degree. That he's just plain oblivious for the sake of, again, getting his point across to make sure that like Danky looks like the worst person on earth.
Put your hands up.
Also, too, police brutality in this context, okay? Again, you're talking about a person of color and you're making jokes about police brutality. You are so racist, Lewis. So fucking racist.
I don't think she was doing. Sorry, she wasn't doing that. What she was doing was asking you questions. She literally hadn't told you to do anything. She just wanted.
Oh my God! Wait, hang on. Sorry, sorry. This guy activated my tism. Okay, so I noticed the wireless setup he has is like the same one I have. This is the same. This is the same thing I have. I use it specifically. I don't use it for this microphone because it's kind of pointless. I use it for this one when I'm recording TikToks or longer formed YouTube videos. Anyway, I digress. I wanted to point that out real quick. Nerdy, wait till the actual calls Danky racist unironically. Danky racist unironically. Ooh, that sounds like fun. That sounds like fucking fun right there. I can't wait.
Wanted to know why you were being the kind of person you were. And for you to be so defensive means you know you did something wrong. Police, bro, I was trying to tell you that the screenshot of the annoying orange stuff, is you blatantly mocking abuse. And
you know what? Hot take, chat. Sometimes abuse is funny. That's right. I said it. Sometimes abuse is funny. And if you want to cancel me over that, do it. Although, in order to cancel someone, you kind of have to have a career first. So like, if you guys could like build me up first before you cancel me, I appreciate that. So that way I can make some money along the way. But yeah.
And you came to me out of all people who, if you, which you clearly had, been on my channel, you'd realize I've been abused too. I'm sorry you've been through that, Katie.
If you're a real fan, you remember that video when my boyfriend came in and he just fucking gave me a left. I am a monster. I am a monster. Oh my god, I'm an awful human. I'm an awful human. I admit that. I admit that full-heartedly. I'm an awful person. I got a penthouse suite in hell waiting for me.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's not my place, okay? As somebody who hasn't been abused in a relationship, I will not comment on that. But what I will comment...
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure that will be... I'm sure that will be rectified soon enough, Lewis.
...on is that, yeah, that's a little stupid of you. You know, to come to somebody and be like, I know how to YouTube better than you. You should ask me questions and we should like call and stuff. Honestly, it sounds like he was trying to like flirt. I don't know. I don't want to assume or presume.
I mean, maybe. I was like, oh, it sounds like she was fucking pissed off that like he was giving her YouTube advice. Which, to be fair, if it's like a 2-hour long call and you're just like, oh, what's that? Make sure to engage the audience. Okay. I probably roll my eyes too. I don't know. It just sounds like this was a call that did not need to happen.
Presume he might have been But again, how can you be a commentary YouTuber who talks about abuse?
Wow, he sounds like he's a little upset that a person of color sounds like he was upset that a person of color wanted another white woman. Okay, Lewis, he needs all the white women to himself. All right, you can't be stealing Lewis's white women from him. Don't be stealing Lewis's white women. Okay, he's got to have them all for himself. He's collecting them like Pokemon.
It's like solely, almost entirely about abusive situations and then mock abuse. I just don't. Just make different content. Honestly, that might be what my main point is.
No, it's a wire. Oh wait, no, he's got a wired cable. For some reason, how he angled his microphone, it seemed like he was using a wireless system. Okay.
Just make different content, dude. I know they might not get as much attention, okay? But if you can't handle the conversation of abuse with some class and decency and some kind of nuance, then you shouldn't be allowed to do it. The reason that these topics do well...
I'll talk about whatever I want, motherfucker.
...is because they are interesting and intricate and require nuance. They require an ability to understand it and put yourself in the shoes of the people who suffer and the people who do it. And if you can't do that, you know, when somebody approaches you, you can't even just ignore them. You just make stupid jokes mocking the gaslighting and abuse of a random woman who you might have known or might have not known. Either way, it's fucking weird. I think he did know her. That's the worst part, okay? That's the dumbest part.
Okay, that's just an assumption on your part. Just because I am Alex's editor doesn't mean he personally knows like every single fucking detail about Alex. Now, were they good friends? It seems like it if he still follows Alex. Maybe he told him about his girl troubles. But like, I don't... To assume that he automatically knows her is kind of dumb. I have some good online friends. They've never met. They've never met my partner. Never. And more than likely, they never will. Because I like keeping that stuff separate. Now, granted, she was technically another creator, so who knows? But like, I don't know. This guy's making a lot of assumptions. It's kind of weird.
Right, well, there's no hard feelings on my end. I'm just gonna put an end to this because it's making me uncomfy. Uncomfy? Really? How about you put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's been abused? Pretty sure that'll be pretty uncomfortable.
To be fair, if it's just like, if someone just comes up to you and it's like, hey, let's talk about abuse. Let me talk to you about how I was abused. You're just like, ooh, let me skedaddle out of here. You know? Like, come on. Like, imagine if someone just walked up to you and was like, I was raped. Let's talk about that. Like, you want an exit too. Don't lie.
Comfy. actually. Ah, God, you couldn't have said uncomfortable? Sorry. That's petty of me. It is, really. Deleting all the messages, too. Oh, that...
Now that was a weird thing. That's a weird thing to comment, that you're deleting all your messages with that person. Did you see the photos on his community page? No. I've seen this guy. Oh my God. I can't decide how I feel about the man corset. Oh, God, okay. Hang on. Oh, guys, this guy like pretends to be like a fashion icon. Also, why am I checking like this? I already have this thing opened. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Thank you all for 300,000 and counting. You all are beautiful and amazing. I can't believe you all chose me as your commentator. That's so many. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, this guy's gay. This guy's gay. Or queer, bisexual. We don't judge, okay? We don't judge here on Nerdy Live when it comes to that particular lifestyle. We don't judge, okay? Partly because it'd be hypocritical. But yeah, this guy is he very much loves himself from what I can see. He very much loves himself. Very much loves himself. What the fuck? He's very in the video. Yeah, we see that. I think it's just not for me. Maybe, I don't know, but you gotta love the confidence. If you click, there are more photos. I don't listen. Okay. Oh, these are all good for thumbnails. These are all good for thumbnails. I'll use one of these for a thumbnail probably. This guy is begging for these to be used for thumbnails. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use one of these thumbnail. I'm gonna use one of these pictures, and in the thumbnail, I'm gonna have a red arrow pointing towards him, and it's gonna say racist. But yeah, let's continue on with this terrible video.
That's how you... Oh, you fucked up there, buddy. Oh, that was stupid. Saying that and doing that. We have images here of proof that
does this guy have... Okay, side tangent. I'm wondering, does this guy have a Twitter? Oh, you know what? No, he's probably one of those people who has like Blue Sky. I bet you if I find anything, it's a Blue Sky. Nope, he just has an Instagram from the looks of it. Unless it's in the like link here. Nope, just an Instagram, and I am not clicking on Instagram. No, I refuse.
You started deleting messages so that it was harder to read and whatever. Oh, that hurts my head. Okay, I don't understand how you can act this way and then literally type out, yeah, I'm gonna delete this now, mate.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna delete all these now.
I'm gonna stop doing that.
Now that's like one thing I will say. It was like that's fucking weird for him to do. But like you've already said what you said. You might as well just like keep it there, you know? It's not like she's gonna misremember.
Actually didn't want to do it, but now it's growing on me, okay? But you deleting the messages means you understand that people seeing this would ruin your reputation. People seeing this would understand that maybe you don't deserve...
Okay, ruin his reputation is a fucking stretch. This is a fucking awkward-ass conversation between people who clearly don't like each other. Really get his goat. 2 leftists for Twitter, 2 commentary for Blue Sky. Relatable. No, I'm not downloading Blue Sky anytime soon. I'll be honest.
Deserve to be talking about these situations.
And like, it's not because he's a secret Nazi. He's a conservative. No, I don't like Truth Social. What was the other one that was being what started with a P? It was Truth Social. Was it Parlor? I don't know. There's been way too many like right-leaning Twitter clones for my liking. But like, I'm sorry guys, like you can't fucking compete with Twitter. It's just the reality of it.
Situations. You have no right, some would say. But there are a bunch of clips from his actual literal videos, past or new, that he says just some fucking weird things in. Like this one from
Oh, he has videos that he has old videos where he says weird stuff. Oh no, the horror. The horror. I don't think the allegations did anything that guy's hair and facial hair didn't already do. Fuck yeah. But like, okay, so for reference point, this is the guy he's trying to cancel, okay? Gigi, I'm sure you can relate to this, okay? This white guy, this white racist is trying to cancel a person of color. Gigi, how do you feel about that? Gigi, I'm sure you're offended on his behalf. I'm offended on your behalf.
From Madagascar 2, I think. Sorry, I never saw that one. I just watched 1 and 3 because those movies are infinitely better.
Speaking of whoring out, Gloria from Madagascar is an annoying whore, whose lines consist only of men and ogling men and having sex with men.
Okay. Again, you're clip chimping this. You're clip chimping this from the looks of it, right? Also, too, like, if that's an old video, I'm sure he has different opinions on what he said. Like, like, come on. Come on, dude. I'm sorry, but if I ever got caught wearing that outfit, I would hope they would beat my ass. Yeah.
Oh my god, you can't just suppress your hate for women for 1 second? You can't do that. Hold on.
He's having a hard time suppressing his hate for black people. That's why I'm getting that. This guy's a racist.
So let me get this straight. Being a woman and then thinking about only men, let's say there is somebody who does that, makes you a whore? Huh? Who made that decision? Hey, who made that rule? Hey, who made that rule? Who made that like a normal?
Again, guys, champion of women, okay? Champion of women, okay? Okay, Lewis has spoken, okay? No jokes about women are allowed. He also attacks women. Look at what he's doing to that poor innocent Ashers. Some people are into that core. Oh my god. Y'all in chat are being a little much right now.
Normal thing that we all agree with. Oh, that's right, nobody did. That's just a weird fucking thing to say. Or maybe this one about Lola Bunny. Just hold on. Just wait till the end of the clip. Just wait. Just give it a second.
Her design is interesting to look at and is animated very impressively in the original Space Jam, especially for the time. And whilst her character at its core is a simple love interest, at least she had a character. In the god-awful sequel, she looks like shit. And I'm not talking about her tits being smaller. I mean, her design as a whole is horrendously ugly and boring to look at.
Her what? Ah!
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people had that opinion about Lola Bunny. You know, if you want a good Lola Bunny interpretation, you gotta watch her in the Looney Tunes show. I mean, they kind of play her off as like a clueless bimbo, but like she's fucking funny in that. Every time a guy is nice to me, I'm weirded out. You see, that's why I'm never nice to you, GG. That's why I'm never nice to you, because I don't want to... I'm hitting my microphone. That's why I'm never nice to you, GG, because I don't want to weird you out, you know? Wow, Nerdy John calling someone racist? I didn't think I'd see the day. Yeah. Is it time for an end tower? Oh my god, what the fuck? Male feminists will never not be weirdos? Yeah. It's a comfy outfit. She is great in that. Oh yeah, okay, so Gigi knows the show I'm talking about. That's good. That's my favorite version of Lola. This is true. Nerdy bullies me. I do. I relentlessly bully you. Relentlessly, because I'm a racist. Oh god. Anyway, back to the video.
Oh god. Sorry, I had to, get that out. You understand. Why must you feel as though you have to make these remarks? Okay, I don't understand why you feel you need to say this, okay? And these are all...
Because at the time he thought it was funny. He was trying to be funny. Again, who knows? Maybe his opinion about how he acted in what seems to be older videos has changed. It's interesting that you're using clips from stuff that like looks to be a few years old. Because if I look at his content, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this real quick. Let's go to oldest video. Let's see. I mean, okay, it looks like all of his stuff is like 3 years old. It seems like Madagascar movies are DreamWorks' biggest atrocities. Yeah, okay, so like I can't name them off the top of my head, but like clearly he's inspired by like the at least with his older content. Oh, you know what? I bet you who's the guy that like Nick really likes watching his live streams and like has an obsession with Boogie, but like his thing is like movie reviews? Mauler. I bet you this guy was inspired by Mauler, and like Mauler is like a bit of an edgier guy. I bet you it was like he was mostly probably inspired by like how Mauler did his videos, right? And so I'm sure that's what he was trying to replicate, was like an edgier style of movie review content. Again, who knows? Maybe his opinion about how he acted in those reviews has changed. But I don't know. I think it's pretty telling that you have to go back in his catalog to find stuff that he said. Why not use like a recent video? I would even accept videos from like a year ago. But like, I don't know. I don't like this whole like let's use stuff from their past in order to cancel them, you know? He looks like my one male bestie. He had less hairy evil twirl and it's outputting. Yeah. Lol, what's you're gonna be mad at Lola Bunny? My only thing is that I do think that the guy is sus, but I have no good reason for it. We'll call it a woman's intuition. AKA paranoia.
I think pre him becoming a drama commentary YouTuber, and I think these videos have since been deleted because, now 100,000.
I mean, no, I mean, maybe he deleted some of them, but like, it seems like a good chunk of his stuff is still here. Awful. Oh, he did a video on like gameplay commentary, guys. Okay, that's interesting. Although, okay, this looks like this was like during the transition. It looks like from him trying to the entire Russian-Ukraine conflict explained. Okay, yeah, and let's see. Yep, and this it looks like he was making like review stuff until 7 months ago. Interesting.
1,000 plus people are gonna see you say this stuff? Can't have that. That's not good. But more recently, do you know what he said?
Mannerisms, he's so sassy. To all the girls watching this who like sassy men, if this doesn't get your beef curtains in a twist, then I don't know what will.
So I've been
Oh no. He said a bad joke? Good heavens. We've never done that before, have we?
informed that phrase is a derogatory one rooted in racism and misogyny. I don't know.
Lewis, I don't know if you looked at your skin tone and you looked at his skin tone, but my opinion is one of you is more qualified to talk about race issues. And I don't think it's you, buddy. Dude, that's the funny thing, okay? That's like the fucking archetype right there of a white liberal trying to tell like a black person what they can and cannot say, right? What's wrong with sassy men? Every man I've known is sassy. I'm not sassy. Gigi, how dare you? I feel like you're grouping me into that. I am not sassy whatsoever.
I don't know if he knows that, but the only way you would hear this phrase is apparently through pornography or adult media or...
Okay. So,
anything sexualizing women, because I personally haven't actually heard that terminology ever, okay?
Something tells me you don't watch straight porn. Call me crazy, guys. I don't think this guy's watched straight porn. Okay, well, like maybe he doesn't watch porn at all. You know, there are some people who just don't do that. But like the only way you can learn this phrase if you watch porn, and porn means women. brother. Oh my fucking god, this is fucking hilarious. I'm Nuclear Winter's stoic, apparently. Okay. How you doing, Winter, by the way? How you doing? Jesus.
I have never heard those words used to describe female genitalia, and apparently that was the point.
I've heard that before. What, curtains? I've heard that phrase before. Like...
What? Dude, you can't... You are indirectly and directly showing us the kind of person you are, okay? So now you know everything there really is to know about this situation. It is not so black and white, but there is so much censorship.
Black and white, much like my skin tone and his skin tone.
Going on. There is an unbelievable amount of it going on. People like Cataclysm talked about it in their videos, specifically because she was somebody who was censored by him. But if you want to hear about that, definitely go watch the live stream that she still has posted to this day, because, you know, she still very much stands by this information, as do I. But it's important to know that he also censors in different ways. Like, for instance, apparently at the start of one of his videos, he said to his audience to comment down below as if he had done something terrible, because Cataclysm
okay. He said to his audience to comment something to boost engagement. You know what, guys? Comment down below how racist I am. Let's get those numbers up, shall we? I've heard people say that back in high school, Lamau. It's not only in adult films. Like, listen, my guess is this guy was kind of sheltered growing up. That's just my opinion. That's just my guess. But something tells me this guy was kind of sheltered growing up. Who knows? Who knows, chat?
had just released in stories on her Instagram about what he was saying and what he was doing. So to cover it up, he would censor those like Cataclysm who were actually talking about what he was actually doing, and then he would just ignore anything else that seemed like it would actually call him out because everybody else was just following what he asked them to do, which is borderline manipulative and honestly insane.
Wait. So like, what was this? So like this was after her video or live stream came out. So like in order to circumvent everything, he was like, comment down below how terrible I am. I mean, it's kind of smart. Kind of smart. The Washington Redskins level racist. Yeah. Comment down below how racist I am, guys. Comment down below.
To the point that is my main issue. If you proudly wore this on your chest, okay? If you were like, yeah, I'm still friends with Alex. Yeah, you know what? And that's my choice. You guys can hate me for that. If you did that, I would actually still have a little bit of respect for you. But the fact that you're running away from all of it, acting like you get to do this stuff and hide from it, even though you did it. You made all these decisions. You don't have to be friends with an abuser, but you chose to do so, and you want to hide it from your fans so that they don't know the kind of person you are? Dude, just be true.
The only thing he has on him is that he's friends with Alex. Which is bad. I'm not defending that. I mean, he's allowed to be friends with who he wants to be, but yeah, I wouldn't like him either. But this seems like a nothing burger. It's like, guys, he's friends with I Am Alex, and he's sexist. Like, it's just, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if, like, it's revealed that these guys had, like, a beef or something, and and Lewis is just using this whole situation to fucking bitch about him. I don't know. Maybe Danky will respond to this. Who knows? I'm hoping he does. Actually, I would like to see him clack back.
Truthful. Like, for instance, he made an Onision video, okay, that got taken down, flagged, or whatever, and it basically almost took down his channel in his own words. Not to flex, but could never be me. Mine's still up. It's one of my biggest videos ever, you know? I don't mean to flex too hard, man.
You're celebrating Onision trying to take him down. So, like, because Onision is try to take down who you believe is like an abuser, like what the fuck? This guy is fucked up.
But in the wake of this, he, one, reposted the video, and two, to support him for working on
that's good. That's good.
Posting this video and whatnot, he made a Patreon, okay, so that people who wanted to support him in the wake of this minor devastation.
It's not. I mean, like, it's good that like he got, but like come on, dude. Like, Onision's infamous for trying to take down people's videos and trying to take down their channels. Like he's infamous for that, don't you, dude? Like, I think he's still suing Repsion. He's still suing Repsion to this day about content Repsion's made about him. Like, you can't pretend like Onision's not some fucking malicious actor.
Could. And this would also grant you access to a members-only Discord channel where you could
Okay, it sounds like basic Patreon.
Talk with him and all of his other fans and whatnot about him and nothing but him. Whatever, right? But then...
Oh my fucking... Does this guy not understand the purposes of, like, having, like, Discord servers for your fans? Like, if this guy had Discord server, like, would it not be about him and his fan base? Or would it be like fucking My Little Pony or some shit?
And Cataclysm released her video, and people started talking, and a lot of them started asking him questions about the situation. And you know what he did? He fucking deleted it all. Oh, dude, I gotta get out of I gotta get...
Okay, okay, that's sus. That's some sussy behavior. Again, especially when he made the message that he's going to delete all their conversations. But like, also too, like, if he doesn't want, if he doesn't want to be fucking bothered by his Discord server, he doesn't have to be fucking bothered by them. Like, if I was gonna make a video on you, it would be like the whole lot of mostly nothing. Did you know John's a cancer? So on. The fuck is a minor devastation. Yeah, it was only a minor. He was thinking of Kendrick at the time when he was doing this video.
Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, if I made a Patreon, I'd probably be like, what's the minimum you can do? Like a cent? Is that something you can do? When people start asking you questions and your first response is to be like, get rid of it all. I can't handle this. I can't handle this policing and drama. Dude, if your audience, the only thing that makes you who you are on the internet, says, hey man, I don't mean to be a jackass, but why are you being a jackass? And your first response is, shut up, you can't ask me questions, I'm deleting it all. You're gonna ruin my career. You don't deserve to have that career if you can't handle the stuff you cover in real life with some amount of class and nuance. See, because what you lack...
Well, it seems like he knows that, like... So, like, it seems like he knows that, like, if he were to, like, talk about the situation and, like, try to defend his friendship with Alex, that it probably wouldn't go well. It probably wouldn't go well for him, right? So, what you really should do when you're in drama, by the way, is, like, first off, if you have to respond, like, for example, if it's a serious allegation, you need to prepare a video, make sure it's well done, well constructed, gets your points across, right? And then release a statement, right? If it's something not so severe, like, for example, he wasn't abusing anyone, he's just friends with an abuser. So yeah, it's technically for him, it would be a lot better if he just ignored all the people trying to contact him about this. Again, I am not defending his friendship with Alex. I am simply pointing out that it is in his general best interest to not talk about this situation, because if he talks about that, more than likely he's going to make a jackass out of himself, and he's going to make any sort of defense really bad.
Wants. Being wrong is the quickest path to being right. Admitting your wrongs is the quickest path back to being a good person. Righting your wrongs, confessing your wrongs, being true
Why the
to
fuck
the people
are you talking like a fucking born again Christian? Get out of here with that bullshit.
who support you and give you a job and a rent and a career. Okay? That is what gives you anything, everything. And all you have to do is be truthful. Like, honestly, if you said this, nobody else would have to say it. But you're avoiding it. You're running away from it. So this is my proposition to you, you nuance-lacking goblin. Come on my show. Come on here.
Whoa. Calling a person of color a goblin? That's kind of racist, buddy. That's kind of racist. Buddy, listen, okay? Me and you kind of got the same skin tone. Me and you got the same skin tone, man. We can't be saying certain stuff. All right, me and you, we can't get away with saying a whole lot. We gotta watch what we say. Get ourselves in trouble.
I will interview you unbiasedly. I will ask you questions.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it's gonna be real unbiased from you. Yeah.
That is what I will do, okay? I'm offering you this proposition. I will interview you. If you feel as though you have no avenue for clearing your name, if there is really...
I mean, he has his own platform. And while he has less subscribers than you, nonetheless, it's still his own platform. So he can talk about it anyway he wants. What's his most popular video? 6 months ago. Okay. So he's really been popping off this year. Or last year, technically. But
really a way to clear your name, because you really need to clear this up. Your audience, above all, deserves the truth from you. Until you clarify whether or not you support an abuser, while also covering almost entirely...
This guy was definitely a theater kid. Definitely a theater kid.
Abusive content, I am sending you directly straight into the fiery, burning layers of loser hell. You will...
Oh no. The terror. Anyway, guys, we are not quite done yet, because while I was playing the intro songs, Falgi did send me let's see, an on-air interview that Papa
would
Gut
never do.
did. And it is reacting to the video. Conversation starts. Here we go. All right, so boys and girls, okay, if you're just tuning into the live stream, if you're continuing to watch it, okay, now's the perfect time. Get something to drink, grab a snack if you have to, and if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream, share it out with your friends. Any bit helps. We're trying to grow the channel for 2025. Okay, we're gonna be the best commentary channel out there. We're gonna outdo Augie. We're gonna outdo Lyrics. We're gonna outdo everyone. So let's continue.
All right, I got you in here. Now we just have to get him in here, and then we should be good.
Okay, cool.
Is that everybody? Is there anybody else?
All right.
I think that's everyone.
Okay, very
got
good.
Cataclysm
All right.
is in this too.
So I finished the video. I think my biggest issue is it seems like a lot of energy for something that seems to boil down to him just being maybe socially inept. So I don't know where you guys want to start. If you want to start from like the first.
Okay, before they continue, I have some predictions. This was due to them having previous experiences with him who they did not like. Nerdy, he confirms later in the video that he is a theater kid who doesn't get out much, lol. Your predictions were correct, lol. Hell yeah. I am the seer of truth and knowledge, okay? I am the seer.
Text message or Instagram message that he had sent out or that we received where the I guess the infamous annoying orange conversation.
Okay.
First, I want to ask you a question as a YouTuber.
Okay. First off, I want to ask you a question. Interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you need to be educated on the things you talk about, like as a baseline thing?
I mean,
You, Papa Gat, need to be educated. Which, I mean, if we're talking about the Adam McIntyre thing, you definitely needed to learn more about it. But anyway.
probably helps. Generally speaking, I think most people on YouTube are not educated when they talk about. I think that's one of the whole potential issues with YouTube,
right.
And even when it comes to like alternative media sources, is there's literally no level of nobody's held to a standard on YouTube in general.
Well,
even
there's
for the
no
broad audience
standard that is high enough.
Yeah, well, there's no like
right.
official standard. Like you don't take a test to be a YouTuber. Anybody can come and talk about anything. They can be right or wrong. It doesn't really matter as long as they aren't inciting violence. You could pretty much say whatever you want.
Sure, I agree, right? But that is also a problem when it comes to talking about things that involve other people's livelihoods, right? For instance, I personally just messed up entirely on the Blake Lively situation. Had to apologize for that because it was a big mistake, right? But that's just the thing, right? I apologize for it. It's important to hold yourself accountable for these things, and he's not letting anybody reach him about it. I even messaged him directly, and he ignored it. So when
because it's in his best interest to not talk about it, because more than likely, if he actually ever tried to have a conversation about the I Am Alex situation and what his thoughts are on it, it's not gonna look good, okay? Because it's not like the I Am Alex situation was some ambiguous thing where it's like, well, maybe he did it, maybe he didn't do it. No, he did it. We have video evidence of him saying that he was going to bash her head in with a brick. Okay, you can't get more clear cut than that.
when you do that, it honestly feels like a kind of just like really idiotic thing to do. Right? If you're going to make these decisions and then also hold yourself and everybody else you talk about at such a high level in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, then it's important for you to say something about it and do something about it, in my opinion.
So what is it that you're trying to like hold him to task for? Like, what is it exactly that you feel that he did wrong that he should respond to you guys about?
The biggest things I personally think he did wrong, and I'm sure Katie probably has a different point of view, is that he made a joke. Whether you think it was him...
That's all it comes down to, is that he made a joke. That's all it comes down to, is that he made a joke you didn't like. Wow, okay. Great stuff here, man. Great stuff. Amazing, Lewis, that you're showing yourself to be the fucking insensitive dumbass that I thought you were. Great job there, man. Great job.
Calling Alex the annoying orange or not, I personally think he was just deflecting, but we can share different opinions on that. He did that and then continued to deflect and ignore and lie to cover up that initial incident, when that initial incident wouldn't have become such a big issue if he had just addressed it when everybody asked him to, right? When, like, to those people, not even publicly, right? If he had just apologized privately, this never would have been a situation, but he continued to make it a problem, right? He created this giant cascading event that could have been avoided by him just being less of a, weirdo about it.
Okay.
Sorry, can I interject?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the way I see it is that, like, my first mistake was I did a stream, and I spoke about this before. I shouldn't have streamed it, but personally, I didn't expect it to have kind of the reach that it did. If I had...
What do you mean? You're a YouTuber. Oh, I did. Even though I'm a YouTuber with a following, I didn't expect people to see me stream. Like, I'm streaming right now. There are some people watching this right now. I'm streaming to you in the expectation that someone out there is watching this. This is such a dumb point anyone's ever made. Well, like, I didn't think it would reach so many people.
Known that a lot of people would go on to watch it after, I definitely would have made a video so I could cut everything up and kind of make it more coherent. But I think it's weird because when I was listening to you talk about how you took it as him calling him the annoying orange, I actually hadn't seen it. I didn't think of it from that perspective. In fairness, I can understand why, like without context, without like the full picture, I can see how that may seem like an option. I think for me, and even I don't think Louis, sorry, I don't know if I got that wrong, covered this in his video, but like he said, he obviously doesn't apologize for it. But to me, one-on-one, when we had this phone call, he admitted that it was wrong. I don't know if that was reiterated in the...
Did you record it? Because right now, it's a he said, she said thing. And unless one of you two recorded that call, unfortunately, it's a case of like the audience has to take your word for it. So it's obviously biases are the only thing that are going to play throughout that entire thing. So like if they're a fan of you, Katie, they're going to say, yeah, I believe her. If they're a fan of him, they're a fan of Danky, they're obviously going to say Danky didn't have to apologize for anything. So it's like there's an issue there.
In the video that you just watched, he told me he shouldn't have said it, and that he should have taken it more seriously. So when I made my stream, I was doing that with the knowledge that he knew what he was saying was wrong, and it wasn't him saying that Alex was the annoying orange. It was him just taking the piss, ultimately, just like trying to have a laugh about it. And ultimately, I agree with you. I don't think everything has to be that deep necessarily, but I do think with his entire platform talking about like abuse, and even I've heard him make comments talking about how people should be, like you say, like have more class when it comes to talking about abuse. So I think he's just a little bit of a hypocrite. And I think even if he was to come forward now and just be like,
British commentary YouTuber being a hypocrite. In other news, guys, the day ends in Y. like, come on.
Like, this is what I meant and I stand by it. I would genuinely respect that more than him just deleting comments and hiding and like...
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like pretending he didn't do it. Because look, I've said, like, you've made a video on me before. Like, I did my Lily Tino video, and it was a terrible video. Yeah, you did a video calling me out about the. It was a bad video.
I remember Lily Tino. I don't think is a particularly good person. I remember that one from what I remember bordered, in my perspective, a little bit of transphobic, right? And I think it's one of those things where when somebody's like a bad person, you feel like you could say whatever to them. You know, I get it, but I understand.
Yeah,
what you're
it was
saying.
just some of that, like, that wasn't like fully thought out. I do disagree that like people talk about YouTube slop, and I have a bit of a different like perspective on that, because the whole point of YouTube was to, you know, sit and talk about whatever you want and whatever you do. And like, I don't think there should be this standard that means like people can say this is just like slop content, because I think people expect a little bit too much from, like, if you're sitting and doing something you enjoy and you're sitting and talking about stuff, obviously it's an opinion whether it's slop content. But when it comes to obviously getting facts right and then making mistakes, I do think you have to like own up to that, especially if you know you have a platform. Go on.
Oh no, I just had a question. So you said that you talked to him privately, and he said that he should have taken the situation more seriously, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did he explicitly say that he was doing the annoying orange thing as a deflection, or did he just say he needed to take it more seriously? Because from my perspective, that to me, what happened here, if you want to answer, it sounds like he didn't explicitly say it. What it sounds like to me is you guys looked at it and you had this interpretation that he was just trying to like meme the situation, which now that I hear your perspective, I get why you have this reaction, where you thought he was saying, when he's like, why are you following this abusive piece of shit? Which we know I'm Alex is. Like, he's one of the very few times.
I'll follow, like he was a former editor. More than likely, he's a friend still. Like this whole thing of like they need to decide who Danky can and cannot follow is just ridiculous. Still, in my opinion.
We're like, this is like a legitimate threat to society, unironically.
Yeah.
So we know this is like a legitimate piece of shit. and you're like, or that was you asking him or some other person or somebody asked him why you still follow this piece of shit, and he's like, oh, I don't follow the annoying orange, and you thought that he was just trying to pretend like he didn't know who I'm Alex is, and like, oh, the annoying orange, and he's memeing. So I get if you have that perspective, like you think he's a disrespectful piece of shit that's like invalidating, you know, every form of abuse out there. From my perspective, it sounds like he just thinks it's funny to call I'm Alex an annoying orange. Because I guess they share similar qualities, and that's his meme, and he thought that would resonate more. And
Can I ask you a question really quick then?
Can I ask you a question really quick then? This is just Lewis's entire thing. Is just like, I'm gonna ask you a question, Papa Gut. I'm gonna ask you a question. Dude, so annoying.
Sure, well, hold. Yeah, just let me. I just want to let me finish my thing.
Sure.
And then when we come to this situation where he says he should take it more seriously, I agree with him based on my interpretation too. But since he said that, you feel like it affirmed your belief of his interpretation. When to me, it just is him saying like, yeah, you know what, I shouldn't have called him the annoying orange. I should have just called him an asshole or something, or just said like, yeah, I should have unfollowed I'm Alex. So I think that he's saying he should have taken it more seriously in the context of not calling him the annoying orange because it's immature, not that he was just trying to meme and deflect.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I think because, again, I don't think this was included in the video that you just watched, but I, when I had this phone call with him, when I asked him about it, he was very obviously acknowledging that, like, he shouldn't have said it. But when I asked him,
again, you should have recorded the call and dropped that shit
explicitly, because he reached out to me and he seemed nice, to be fair. Like, he was friendly to me. He was okay. He explained a lot about like what I should do differently on YouTube, but it's kind of like a little bit irrelevant.
Okay.
But he did say, when I asked him, are you still on contact with Alex? Like, are you friends with him? Do you work with him? He said no comment. He said, I don't want to talk about that. And he just couldn't tell me.
Yeah, because he's clearly still friends with the guy. And he knows that if he says that he's friends with Alex, that it's not going to look good for him. Now, he can continue being friends with Alex if he wants. I think he needs to understand that the ramifications of being friends with him still is that people aren't going to view him in a good way on YouTube going forward. But I mean, and just like more like morally, obviously, I don't think it's a good thing to be friends with an abuser. Let me be clear on that, okay? He gonna be friends with whoever he wants, but also too, fuck I'm Alex, right?
You know, and obviously being someone who is his friends with Alice, I was just like, well, I need to know that information, especially if you're reaching out to me, especially to try and, you know, exchange YouTube advice and that kind of stuff. I just felt it was really weird timing too, because I released this big video. I've done a couple of videos actually where I spoke about my own experiences, and I just found it really weird that he would reach out to me and then he couldn't even tell me like, no, I'm not in contact with Alex anymore. And I think that to me made it like,
I understand that. Did you happen to record the conversation you had with him?
The really annoying thing is I did. And I had it on my computer for a really long time. My boyfriend edits my videos and
wait, you had the call? You had it recorded? Oh my fucking god.
It was on an SD card. I'm trying to figure out how to retrieve it.
Okay.
But then when I've spoken to people about like whether I'd be able to like, you know, release it, it's a different story because I didn't tell him I was recording.
Yeah, I get the whole like, situation. Yeah, I get like the legal.
I don't fucking care. Drop it. This guy's in the UK. He's not going to sue you. He's not going to make an international lawsuit just to sue you. Oh wait, no, you're from England as well. Shit. Okay, she's from England as well. I forgot. Almost forgot the entire British accent for a second. Okay, that more understandable. But I mean, if it makes him look bad, if the call makes him look bad, you're gonna get support from it.
Legal potential aspect, and then also that like weird behind the scenes creator boundary. I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say the whole that he won't.
That's oh my god. That's Lewis's whole thing. Is throughout this, he has nothing to add. He's just like, I have a question.
denounce I'm Alex even in private. Like that definitely to me sounds concerning, considering we know the kind of person
It's
I'm Alex
concerning
is.
and it's strange.
Yeah.
But the question I wanted to ask you is that you were trying to make this this difference between him making a joke or deflecting, and I think that it's pretty a big potential that he's doing both. You know, like he's trying to make a joke to deflect, or deflecting while making a joke. And either way, if it's both or neither, if it's both or either, it's still an issue.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, we're never going to know exactly how he feels unless he tells us. And then, like, if he's watching this, he could literally just listen to what I'm saying and just say, "Oh, I actually meant that," and he gets a free pass. Like, let's just be absolutely honest here. There's really no winning in the situation.
Which
if
would
he
be
was,
a problem.
yeah. But to me, I try to be like reasonably faith, I guess, about somebody. He looks like a young. Well, he's like 20 years old, I think. He looks like a young, probably a little edgy because he's a young man that thinks beef curtains is funny and that thinks that comparing people to the annoying orange is funny, probably socially enough, which a lot of YouTubers can be. I'm not calling you guys that, just to be clear. Sometimes they like,
Well,
especially.
I would like to be clear that I'm pretty sure he's older than I am. That's the thing. I'm also very young.
Oh, you're 20. What happened when I looked up his age? Sorry,
I'm pretty sure he is 21.
Oh, well, that's
Okay, he's a year older than me, actually, so he should know better.
I mean,
Yeah, he's
still
21.
Young. He's still very young,
Yeah.
you know. And I feel like he just kind of was being immature about something he probably should have taken seriously, but he wasn't trying to. When we say deflect, I interpret that as he's trying to downplay the negatives of I'm Alex by pretending he doesn't even know what you're talking about. But
which you could be doing by making a joke out of it.
Maybe. I just think that he thought that it was funny and he was like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have followed the annoying orange. Like trying to say he's a piece of shit and almost trying to have a little camaraderie around the person who also thinks he's a piece of shit. It's definitely down. I think it's downplaying, but I don't think the intention is there for him to be malicious. That's the only thing that I don't think.
Do you think, though, if that was the case, he would, like, he should have told me when we spoke, like, yeah, no, I don't work with him. And I said, like, he could have explained that to me on the spot.
Yeah, I think that, like, if he's still friends with I'm Alex, like, that's extraordinarily concerning. That either shows that he doesn't care about abuse, or he's just very young, naive, immature, and possibly doesn't even care enough about like a female perspective, which is
a big point in the video you just watched was my whole thing about what you just said, right? If you are making content, and almost everything he makes is about abuse, and usually it involves a woman on either side, right? So if you're going to be friends
most
with an abuser, or
situations
even
will have a woman on either side, you know.
Correct. Yes. Which is the point, right? If you're going to need this perspective, this point of view to make this content and not just be a jackass, right? If you're going to make content about a woman's abuse in either way, then you have to understand that abusive people are not those to coddle. They're not those to, hold dear. They're people to, sure, talk with and understand, but not to forgive, not to work with and take advice from. Because according to him, and in certain situations, he might still be taking tutelage from I'm Alex, which is a big issue, right?
Sure, that's probably
thumbnail design. If they have the same content design, they do the same editing technique.
That would be
the same editing technique. He's Alex's editor. If Danky is an editor and he edits I Am Alex's videos, of course, Alex's videos and Danky's own videos are going to have the same editing style. Because that's how editing works, okay? If I'm editing and I'm known for a certain style of editing and I get hired by someone to edit, I'm going to edit that style. You're not going to edit differently for someone else. I mean, sometimes you can do that if you're a talented editor. But more than likely, whatever you're good at editing as, you're going to do as your content, right? So it's like such a dumb point. That's such a dumb point.
well, the whole similar content style, that, I mean, that's how all these types of communities work in general. Like, there's usually a community, and then everybody
It's not even
copies the same
vaguely
style.
similar. It's almost the same.
Well, yeah, but that's how like
You
all
also
of them
said-
are in a lot of, like, if you look at Sunny V2 videos, there's like 1,000 Sunny V2 clones. There's a ton of different clones in every community. There's usually like somebody that's a
again.
leader. So that by itself, all I'm saying is that by itself doesn't communicate to me he's still talking with him. If in private
But-
he's dancing around it, like, I can understand that making you feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
Totally get it. But that's so far, that's the only thing that like really is saying something to me, is like, oh, he's
I'm curious what the comments are saying about this. My biggest hatred of these types of videos and communities is the need for a performance. They discuss what they think are heavy topics and present them with the theater kid attitude that it's better aligned with dank memes. It's hypocritical. I'm sorry. It's no, I said that right. Hypocritical in many aspects. In a lot of these scenarios, it's hard to take what they say seriously due to the presentation. No, exact. Like, I mean, I kind of have to agree with the commenter there. It's like like they don't like how like edgier YouTubers will talk about abuse, right? Well, then they'll have like the theater kid like pizzazz to it, and like somehow that makes it better to talk about, you know. Katie's stance, especially as a victim of abuse, seems reasonable, to be honest. Not sure about this Lewis guy though. All I can say is that he gives me really bad vibes. He's the male feminist, but let me mansplain type. Doesn't really like him at all. I am glad I am not the only person who thought about that. Lewis kind of seems like an overly aggressive loudmouth, and it makes me really put off from anything he has to say. I also feel like this whole thing was unnecessarily made public, and everything seems like the most bad faith extreme interpretation of what this guy does. Like, why can't you just talk to this person instead of assuming everything? It's giving Nick is not green energy, yo. As a woman who exists in a lesbian community and interacts with women who loves women, beef curtains, roast beef sandwiches, or any other variant is said pretty frequently. I'm a lesbian. I'm in a lesbian Facebook group. They've always sharing Arby's memes. Lol, it's not my kind of humor or my favorite descriptor, but I'm definitely not offended by it. Sorry. I didn't even know I was supposed to be offended by that. You really did get abused by two of the most annoying people online. Crazy for him to be like, he's so much older than me when he's literally 1 year older, yo. You know, I'm not usually a big fan of Papa Gut. You know, I like the voice. And, you know, sometimes he's calm. He's reasonable with conversations. But you know what? So far, I think he's doing a decent job here. He's combating their opinion without being overtly aggressive, which is, especially in this instance, you want to especially make sure you're doing well, you know?
still maybe too comfortable with Alex in private, but I feel like that's not enough to warrant like super intense energy.
Yeah.
And then also, sorry, I just want to, when I look at his content, like nothing that he's doing is particularly interesting or original. It's all the public narrative about the person he's talking about has already been set. He can just take what people are already saying, interpret it with his.
Yeah. So it's just like he regurgitates stuff like Jake Doolittle, because what Jake Doolittle will do is like he'll wait for the public perception to already be out, have a video out that also agrees with the public perception, and then try to get views off of that. That's what a lot of these generalized more like friendly facing commentary channels would do. It's just like it's not necessarily that they don't have their own opinions. It's just more often than not they don't share their own opinions on something like this because they know it's better to go public narratives. So that way they can get a bigger YouTube paycheck.
His whatever humor or whatever he has, and then put out a video with very little intellectual perspective on it. Like, he's not analyzing a situation. He's like, okay, what are people saying about Blake Lively on TikTok or whatever else, he's talking about the 17 papers.
Right.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't think that a lot of people have like this there are very few YouTubers who sit down and try to really sit down and analyze specific behaviors and why people are engaging in specific behaviors. He's just pumping out content, which most people do. So for me, like, this deep level of education that he should or shouldn't have, I don't really, he's not doing anything.
It's not a deep level of education. It's a basic understanding of respect is what I view it as. If you're going to...
I'm going to call it right now. Louis, whatever you want to call him. He's going to have some allegations brought against him. Someone's going to bring allegations against him. And my guess is it's not going to go well for him. I'm going to call it now. He's going to have his own kind of I Am Alex situation going on. And he's going to be revealed to be a creep. Because, I'm sorry, but like Gigi was saying in chat, like I was saying earlier, like what the comments we're reading are saying, this guy gives very aggressive male feminist energy. And I don't know, you're not... As a dude, you're not this outward about your love of like women's rights unless you're a fucking like abusive creep behind the scenes,
Even if you cover people you don't like, right? For instance, this video about Jesse, I wanted to make it still with a little respect in my heart for him as a human, right? He needs to live, he needs to make money, right? That's why I make it clear I don't want to end his career. That's not at all my prerogative. My whole goal is for him to be truthful with his audience. I'm not here to be malicious because I have a basic respect for him as a human, right? And if you don't have that, then you can't make YouTube videos in good faith, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not the YouTube police. I can't make him stop making videos. I don't want to make him stop making videos. My whole thing is that if you're going to make this content and then be a jackass about things in private, then you're subject to scrutinization because of these strange actions and words that he said.
Sure. One thing I want to say is that, like, you had mentioned that he wasn't real willing to apologize in private. But then you had mentioned when you had a conversation that he seemed to acknowledge and apologize specifically for the joke that he made about the annoying orange. So it sounds like he is trying. Maybe he's not giving you the exact answer that you want, and maybe it's not satisfactory in some instances. Like, again, not like disavowing I'm Alex, but it sounds like he's trying.
But he did not respond to me.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
she's probably given the scenario, she's the one that matters more, the three of us, right? Because she's the one that has the the past, and she's the one that would take it more personally, which is understandable. So she would be the one that matters in his response to anybody, I would say. And you're friends with the girl that I'm Alex.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of connection there. So it makes sense for him to respond to her. It makes sense for him not to respond to you, and that's not me criticizing you, but it makes sense why he wouldn't respond to you specifically.
That does make sense. My guess is Danky knew that Katie was friends with Alice, probably, which is probably why he contacted her in the first place. Maybe he did that for his boy Alex. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the other part to it that kind of made me continue to like talk about it publicly was that when we had the call, he also said, when I asked him like, are you still in contact with Alex, he made the like, I don't want to talk about that comment, and then proceeded to talk about it and tell me how Alex gave him his career. Like, if it wasn't for Alex, his family wouldn't have like had food on the table. Like, Alex paid his bills, he owes him a lot, like he couldn't just drop him. And again, the reason why I haven't really pushed that much is because I don't have the evidence to back that up, and I know that if he wants, and that is completely fair, he can say that he never said that. Like I said, I did have a screen recording of it. I could try and recover it, but again, I just don't want to set this
release it.
This idea that like I'm gonna leak calls that I haven't even.
I get what you're.
So what? You're leaking a call about someone who's lying or won't admit that they're friends with an abuser. I'm sure the majority of your audience will be okay with you doing that. This moral high ground of like, well, I don't leak calls is fucking stupid.
You're saying
no, yes, understood.
But I also think it was interesting to hear your perspective about kind of like comments he makes and how he's just like immature and he doesn't really think, because I do agree that sometimes people can kind of come across as terrible people without having a lot of intent. And I don't necessarily think that he intends to come across as an asshole. I don't think like he's the most evil guy ever. And I agree like with what most people are saying, which is I don't think he should be cancelled. I don't really think that. I don't really agree with that anyway. It just doesn't really make sense to me. I don't unless you've done something like criminalizing. I don't really think. Yeah, like I don't think there's. And then in that case, like it's not being cancelled. It's like it's a completely different topic.
Yeah.
But I think he could just do himself like so many favors, and I guess it depends how you view controversy. But to me, if I'm having people like a large amount of people criticize me, for example, when you made the video about me, and I'll watch it and I'll take into consideration the points, and I'll talk to other people and I'll read the comments, and I'll come to a conclusion of like, do I need to say something about this or can I just leave it? And for me, when it came to my thing, I was like, with you know the kind of turf comments and people thinking I was transphobic. Obviously, I can't say, well, that's your fault for perceiving it that way, because it's completely on me for, you know, doing a video that just didn't come across that great. And then I have to take responsibility for that. You know, even if I don't think inside I'm like a terrible person and I intended it, it's about acknowledging why people feel that way and at least just responding.
Yeah, well, I think that as a content creator, there are always times when people are going to criticize you for something you did wrong, and you're not going to immediately see it because it takes time. If you do immediately flip, then that means you have no conviction. That's what I'd say. But sometimes it takes time for it to settle in, and you don't necessarily have to have a public like, okay, guys, I had this big turn of leaf. I thought about this for 2 days. Sometimes things take a while, and especially in this scenario, if what you're saying is true that I'm Alex gave him a career, we're talking about a young person. I would totally understand why, even though he's wrong, why he has too much charity for I'm Alex. Like, it's not right. But if this person was some kind of poor, and then and I'm Alex gave him a lot of, you know, basically gave him an entire opportunity, which, knowing I'm Alex, it's possible that literally is almost like
that's kind and like that's similar to how we know he operates. It's that like he makes sure that like everyone who's like in his vicinity, so like basically all like the YouTubers in his little circle, he likes knowing that he has something over them. So this definitely aligns with what like Alex does, is that he makes you feel like you owe him something. Whether it's like he has dirt on you, or like with Danky here, he made his career for him. So yeah, it might take Danky a bit to like fully disassociate with Alex.
An abuse tactic, right? Like, he wants to get people around him by doing favors for them, not because he likes them, but because he wants a favor from them in the future. It makes sense why he wouldn't feel the ability to publicly disavow I'm Alex. I don't think it's right. I also don't think he's malicious for that. I think that that's almost probably, I mean, if we really want to get into it, probably a we're gonna get like really fucking woke here. It's almost like a negative aspect of like toxic masculinity, where you feel like you have to stick by your friends regardless of the controversy they're in, because that's what friends do and that's what men do. I know we got a little woke there, but like that might be true. All right. I don't know specifically. I do know what it's like to be like a young guy, so I'm obviously going to be more charitable like young guys. You know, that's and you know, excuse my ignorance on that, but I just don't think that he's a malicious person. I think.
Well, I have the opposite stance as a young man in today's day and age. We were young.
I have the opposite opinion of you, Papa Gut, because I am a young person.
Men at different times, obviously, but I'm still a young man, okay? And as a young man who finds criticism as a treasure, I like criticism. I like when people tell me their position, even if it is in complete disagreement with me. I find it to be almost like another brick in the house that is my career. You know, if I don't build with criticism, then I'm going to fall apart, okay? But when I see other people like me, young men in the world of content creation, trying to make a name for themselves, when I see how easy it is for me as a person who, again, sorry to be woke, I'm more left leaning than right, so I don't, you know,
sure, yeah.
I don't mind being a little woke. But as somebody who has suffered with many different mental disabilities, I do not like using them as excuses. I don't care, right? I like to be the best man I can, even as a younger man in the world of content creation. All right. And when I see other people say, well, he's just a young man, he might not know. I'm a young man. I know. It's that easy.
I know better,
Okay. It's
so
that
he
easy
should
for you
too.
to figure out that you are wrong, or when other people for telling you are wrong from that side. For instance, women telling you that what you said is wrong, and then you just brush it off and don't care. When it's as easy for me, another young man, to care, to not brush it off, to listen to those people and apologize. I do not see the excuse for him because it's just that easy.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of agree with that because I think a lot of the time people do get away with stuff kind of under the idea of, well, that they're still learning. But I don't think that necessarily comes down to a young man thing. I think that's just young people in general. And although I do agree that there is an element of that to consider, because like, I wouldn't want to be crucified for every mistake and everything I've said online that I regret, obviously. But I do think this situation is just slightly different because all of his videos are about abuse, and I don't. There's no problem with that. Look, I don't care. I don't think you necessarily have to have been through abuse to talk about abuse. I don't think that's the case. I mean, I talk about things that I've not been through, and I think I can give a pretty valid and nuanced stance on them. But I think when you're talking about, like, if you listen to his videos and you listen to his attitude, and he knows how to talk about abuse in a relatively good way in his videos. So it just makes you think, if he is just stupid and naive, why doesn't that come across as much in his videos when he talks about abuse? Because he knows exactly how to talk about it in videos. And then to me, knowing the context of his relationship with Alex, their past, what he's done for him, it was just like that kind of joke, whether it's a joke about Alex being the annoying orange or deflection, is just poor taste. And yes, that doesn't make him an evil monster, but I think running and avoiding, like, people will say, well, I wouldn't reply either, like if I had a mob of people on me. But I think, like I said, because he talks about abuse, I think you kind of should reply. And if you don't, it does just
a response to his audience in which he says the opposite opinion too.
What do you mean?
Well, he will always say that, well, abuse is the worst, right? And as we can all agree, abuse is one of the worst things in the world, right? And he will always talk about how bad it is, and then behind closed curtains, he will make a joke about it, right? And instead of
behind closed beef curtains, hey. But no, let's we're having a serious discussion right now, chat.
Saying and denouncing that, he will instead just run away from it and try to hide the fact that he did this. That's the problem.
Sure. Yeah. And I get that he deleted messages too. But again, like, it seems like he did apologize to some extent in private. So I don't know the exact thing going through his mind, but it's not like he wasn't trying. I don't think that, like, he was
also too, like, I don't know. This is not like a massive thing to me. Cause, like, I don't know. I'm used to I'm used to, like, these, like, hashtag believe all women types always coming out and like, oh yeah, like they actually like covered this up behind the scenes. It's like, oh well, that's not surprising. It's terrible, but it's not surprising.
Necessarily always running away. Maybe he's getting advice behind the scene of what he should or shouldn't do, or how he should or shouldn't respond to the controversy. I don't. It's probably true. I mean, a lot of content creators will get that. I have people who reach out to me and ask me like what they think they should do. Sometimes you just don't say anything. I think
with Alex personally,
it could be. I don't really know. When it comes to the way that he talks in his videos, I've never watched his video before. It sounds like you guys are saying that he seems to have a pretty intelligent understanding of abuse. I might be true. I almost doubt it, and the reason is because people know how to recite things. Just because you've memorized a script in some capacity, you've heard other people say a thing, doesn't mean that you have a deep understanding of it. And so for him to make potentially good points about different abuse doesn't necessarily mean that
yeah, I mean, I can say stuff like racism is bad, but like, do I know the deep understanding and I don't, like, I acknowledge racism is bad, right? Or like how that'll be another good point, how like British colonialism was an overall like bad thing that like negatively affected a lot of countries, right? but like I couldn't tell you like in depth how it affected each country in a different way and how it affects them today, you know, like that type that type of thing. You know, you can have general knowledge about something, and like obviously like who like there are very few people out there on YouTube who will go like, yes, abuse is good. You know,
he analyzed the situation and came up with like, okay, this is probably what they're feeling here. It's more likely to me he watched someone else's video or he watched someone else's coverage and they said something and he said, I'm going to take that and I'm going to regurgitate that. And it's going to make me sound intelligent. So I wouldn't doubt that. A lot of people perform. I could be wrong. Maybe he's like super emotionally intelligent. Very doubtful by the way that he interacts. He seems like a very emotionally unintelligent person, which again, from my perspective, I used to be very emotionally unintelligent. It took me a very long time to generate that. I don't know that he's as educated. To me, I think that you guys understandably had an interpretation of this situation of the annoying orange. We'll call it the great annoying orange controversy. And you had an interpretation and I have an interpretation, and we don't know which one is necessarily correct. But I think that when you look through everything through your lens, I understand where you're coming from, but maybe it's possible that that lens isn't necessarily correct. And some of these other things need that support structure, that lens, in order to be accurate. But to me, since that lens isn't there, I think it's more likely that he was just making a joke about calling Alex annoying orange and then calling him a gaslighter. I'm not on the same page with you guys. Like, I'm not going to be able to agree with everything that you guys have to say on it, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's run with that for a second. Let's say it was just a needless joke, okay? He still deleted messages. He still had to apologize for it in private and then tried to erase any proof that he ever did talk about this, i.e. the deleting of messages that he had with Katie. And then he moved forward with it and then tried to act like there was some kind of controversy. And in one of his videos, he said, put in the comments below that I did something terrible, right? Covering up all of this that was happening, which is one of the biggest things that really stands out to me is his covering.
Trying to cover up, or was it like he was making a dumb joke in order to get engagement with his video, you know?
Up of things directly on his YouTube channel, right? And then he moves forward, keeps making videos about this abuse and whatnot because it's what gets views, right? So I see all of this, right? I see Katie's video. I see him continuing to cover these things with a lack of nuance. Apparently in one of his videos, he said that a woman cannot be beautiful if she is a mother. Apparently that's what he said. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he said.
Did you see him say it?
Yeah, I saw that.
I have not watched the video yet.
I would just make sure you confirm it within full context, because sometimes you don't want to get into a situation where like you're affirming something about somebody without like 100%, you know, just not for yourself.
Also, if that was a clip you found, how come it wasn't in your video? I mean, you showed a lot of out of context, like bad clips of him. How come you didn't show that one, buddy?
But again, let's say he did all that, right?
Yeah.
Then my problem still stands is that he is lying to his community. If you have to boil down what my issue is, what really makes me angry is that he is lying to his community on so many different axes that he didn't have to lie to them on. He could have just outright made like a community post and said, this happened, I'm sorry, yada, yada. But he didn't. He tried to cover it up verbatim, put something in the comments that I'm a bad person. And that's not okay. That's why my energy in that video was terrible and angry.
I have a question.
Can I just add?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can, go for it.
I was just going to say, like, I think as someone who makes videos on abusers, but also has made videos like an hour-long video talking about my own experiences, I know firsthand that you kind of gather an audience of people who can relate to you. I mean, you gather an audience of people who have been abused or have been in situations like that and kind of find like solace in your videos. So I think almost putting myself in Jesse's situation and, you know, acknowledging that he will have a massive audience.
He's Jesse, right? The danky.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, sorry. I just want to clarify. Okay.
You know, he has an audience of people that can relate. I mean, if you look at the comments, it's people talking about their experiences of abuse. So I think ultimately it boils down to, like you said, you may have a different interpretation, but knowing the call that I had with him, knowing what he said, his attitude, like the way he spoke to me in general, watching the comments he makes in his other videos, I don't think he's like the most evil person who is like out to, you know, just harm everybody. But I do think he is immature. And I think if you don't have that like level of maturity, then either apologize and continue making videos about abuse, or just maybe don't make it like your primary topic. Because to me, I don't mind having abuse as my primary topic. It's something that I speak about a lot, and I don't mind doing that because I know that like where I'm coming from is like usually correct. But I also know if I was to say something that someone disagreed with, I'm gonna hear them out, or I'm going to comment on that, or I'm going to think about my perspective. And just another thing I wanted to add, I know it's not as relevant, but there was the kind of debate on whether beef curtains was like offensive or not.
Really quick,
and,
before we get to beef curtains, because I have no problem talking about that. Just give me 1 second.
That's cool.
I've one thing. Let me just write that down. You guys mentioned before that he's trying to like backtrack everything and kind of delete everything and get rid of everything, and the intention there is that he's trying to suppress the information. That's what it seemed. That's what I'm getting out of it. Is that a correct?
Yes, correct.
Have you ever thought about why he told you he was deleting his Discord messages? Because then he said, "I'm going to delete them now." And
he said it was making him uncomfortable. Obviously,
very childish, if you ask me.
Yeah,
it's
very.
I just thought,
sure, it might be childish. The only reason I'm asking is because, to me, if he was trying to suppress the information, he wouldn't give you a heads up that he's about to delete everything. To me, he would have just started deleting stuff so that you wouldn't have an opportunity to screenshot.
I think he knew, based on me having been in that call with him and me then messaging him again, I think he kind of had this feeling that I potentially may have spoke about it publicly, which is why he was like saying, oh, you know, no hard feelings, and then tried to make out that like I was as bad as him for, quote, policing his social media. So I think he did know from the start, or was very worried that I was going to, because obviously he was growing quite fast. I mean, he'd like shot up subs wise so quick. I think he knew. I mean, he knows what the internet's like, and I wasn't planning on talking about it publicly. It was until those last messages, and then when I messaged him again to try and talk to him, he just wouldn't respond. And then I was just like, well, you know, I'm not gonna watch you talk about abuse all the time. Contact me to try and be my friend, and then you can't even give me the decency of just explaining yourself without deleting messages. Like, to me, I was just like, well,
sure. To
that's
me,
just weird.
And that might be what it is. To me, I find it a little strange that he would delete them and announce it, because he's giving you the opportunity. He's basically saying, "Hey, you should probably screenshot these" when he does something like that.
Hear me out. Maybe
he's just an idiot.
Okay, maybe
or maybe maybe it's one of those out of sight, out of mind things. Like, I've deleted messages from like ex-girlfriends because I'm upset. You know what I mean? I could be too charitable. All I'm saying is I don't know if he necessarily was being malicious, or if he's it's almost like an emotional thing for him. But let's talk about beef. Let's talk about beef curtains really quick. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll leave that to you, Katie. I'll leave that to you.
So, pretty much, I don't think either of you have really seen my videos, but recently a lot of my content is about the effects of like, I don't know if I can say, can I like say things on here?
Yeah,
Will I get you like
what? Like, just don't say like actual racial slurs, and we're good. Like, don't say like slurs.
A lot of my videos have been like talking about porn, and like just the effects of it on society, and like general attitudes that kind of seep through into media. And for me, because I saw a few arguments saying, well, beef curtains is a term I've heard forever. You know, I used to work in a builder's yard and they used to say that all the time. But to me, that isn't an argument, because you could say that about pretty much any derogatory term, that it was used a lot and people have become desensitized to it. Obviously, I'm not gonna police people. If you want to, if that's something you want to say, you can say it. It's not enough to get you arrested. You know, it's not a slur, but it is factually derogatory towards women. And I think a lot of the time when I hear people say that, it may be from a place of kind of not being educated, but I think that is the problem in general. I mean, I heard you say that you didn't understand why it was offensive, or I don't really know what your stance was on that. And again, it's such a minor thing from him. Do I think that makes him a terrible person? Again, no. But it's comments like that come from him, as well as like a plethora of other comments that he's made that just come across that he's very I want to say slightly misogynistic, and I'm not throwing that term around loosely. I do think a lot of the things he says, he may not hate women per se, but when he makes comments like that, and again, the mother comment about how mothers can't be sexy, again, I don't know if the context is fully there for that, so I won't go too much.
Yeah, I would have to see that. I mean, there could be a pattern of not being respectful of women. It's totally possible. I don't really know. My thing with beef curtains is I don't think in today's society it's this outward intentional misogynistic term to use to like break down women. Maybe it used to be. I don't know. I think it's more of just kind of a gross way to refer to a girl's vagina, and I think that he just thought it was funny. I don't think it was like.
I think again, it's difficult because
it's about a mindset, not necessarily intention.
It's about a mindset, not necessarily intentions. Like that. I'm sorry. Anytime he comments, I'm just going to do that voice because it's like this guy like as much as the problems I have with Katie with her content, right? Her and Papa Gut are having like an actual discussion here. He's just trying to like insert himself whenever he can. He's not really adding like this guy is not really adding anything to the conversation at all. He does not need to be.
And that's the thing.
The only reason why he's here is because he made the video.
No, he may not intend. But I would disagree. I think it was previously a more accepted term. Now it's more derogatory because of things like porn, because of the standards to women's genitalia. So I do think, especially maybe it's just not a part of the internet that you're on, but there is already so much discourse about the appearance of women's parts, and always in a negative way as well.
Oh,
so
are you trying to say that like the whole beef curtain thing is him saying that that's like an ugly vagina? Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
well,
I think
if you ever see people online, and again, it's because of the side of the internet I'm on because I talk about porn a lot. But if you ever see that term, it is always used as a way to insult the way a woman's vagina looks. Like it's always been used like that. Obviously they use it in other terms, usually in kind of joking ways. So maybe that was a joke, but it doesn't change the fact that it, to most women, and again, there will be women out there that say, I don't really care, I don't mind. But to a lot of women, especially that understand why it's used, it is just quite like unnecessary.
Well,
I think.
sure. I would say it's on the same level
well
as I'd say it's the same level as saying the guy has like a pencil dick, right? Like it's I think it's kind of like the same thing. I wouldn't say you're being derogatory if you said. I mean, I guess you technically are, but I wouldn't care. Like it's just like it's just like I guess a kind of a rude comment, but it's not that big of a deal.
I see what you're saying, right? Let me add something really quick.
I see what you're saying there, buddy.
Not necessarily that standing alone is the biggest issue, right? If that is the only thing he had done, we would not be here. It's the fact that it is on top of everything else, and in a vacuum it wouldn't do anything, but in this room with all of these different things that point towards him having a misogynistic tone or a mindset, or being in these spheres online, or having possibly in the past been in these spheres, it adds to this idea that he might have or still be in the mindset of somebody who is misogynistic, whether it's on purpose or not. And it's seeping into his content. That is what this kind of points towards. And it is still an issue if he doesn't, like acknowledge that that is a derogatory term, and using it to refer to people is not necessarily a good thing.
Okay. A genuine question. Do you feel like you properly communicated that in your video?
I mean, there are plenty of things I'd like to properly communicate in videos, but I try to make them shorter so that I'm not wasting people's time.
I get that.
That was a short video for you? You fucking dragged that video out. Jesus.
I think that
I'm also very theatrical.
That's fine.
Persona.
I think that if that
That
was what you wanted to communicate, that would have been a better focus of the video, because I think a lot of that video was just kind of making a lot of assumptions about the way that about what his intentions are with things. I think if you showed more that he's constantly has a pattern of saying misogynistic things, especially towards the beginning, to kind of prime the audience to understand what his potential mental framework would be, that would have maybe communicated things better to me. But so far, we have the beef curtains thing.
I really do.
We have the beef curtains thing, and then potentially he said single moms are ugly. you know, I mean, I see a lot of, I see a lot worse every day. You know, I do talk about like a lot of red pills. So,
Of course, yes.
to
Yes, of course.
me,
And
it doesn't
using
sound.
worse stuff is
Yeah.
those people.
Really aren't speaking like
Okay.
the
I
truth
agree.
from.
Okay, that was okay. So like, as far as like Katie and Papa Guts ended the conversation, I thought that was actually pretty well thought out discussion from both of them. Even with my problems with both creators, I thought that was a relative, like, if we're to be serious for a moment, I thought that was actually a relatively well done discussion. However, if like Lewis, whatever you want to call him, he did not need to be there whatsoever, man. That his end of that conversation fucking sucked. But guys, we gotta thank some of the members of this channel. Pigeon Salad, thank you for being a Super Nerd 3, going further beyond with your support, man, for 13 months, which is just like crazy to think about. Thank you, man, for being like the #1 supporter. You are seriously fucking awesome, Pigeon. You are awesome, man. And then we have Super Nerd 2. I have loved the stars too fondly. Thank you for your Ascended support, man, for 6 months now. Thank you. And then we got the Super Nerd 1s, which you can join for just 99 cents if you're interested. All members get access to members-only content and exclusive members-only live streams, which, don't worry, guys, I know haven't been doing content too much at the beginning of the year just yet, but don't worry, I'll get the ball rolling soon enough. Anyway, thank you. Oh, first off, we gotta thank Lady Norris, Nix, Gigi Hearts. We got K Huck, McMuffin, Daniel J, and Annie. Guys, thank you for being Super Nerd 1s. Anyway, guys, this is Nerdy John, and let's end this out with one of my favorite acoustic songs. Anyway, guys, you are all awesome. This is Nerdy John signing out. Take care. Have a good rest of your night.
This is a first-rate town, and all you ever notice are the ways it's stretched too far. Well, it has been knocked down, but some of us are still left here between the scars. And when you look around, all you ever notice is you cannot see the stars. This is a first-rate town, you know. You just can't see very far. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave. When the last door closed, you packed your clothes and went back to Montreal. Said it was colder there, a chill hangs in the air, it helps you forget it all. You left an empty bookshelf that I didn't fill till fall. This is a first-rate town, you know. You just don't see it at all. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave, 'cause they'll all it against me. You can never leave. Well, it will fade as all things must. I loved you, but you didn't love me enough. Winter comes, the car will rust. I'll start it up, then always run a little rough. This is a first-rate town, and all you ever notice are the ways it's stretched too far. They'll keep the death rates down, it's colder than a winter spent in defrosting cars. We talked a lot of leaving, didn't think you'd get that far. This is a first-rate town, you know. You just can't see very